Hey everybody, it's Christina Quick, the Tarot Biz Mentor, here from the Profitable Psychic Business Academy. Welcome to today's video. We are going to be continuing on in our next lesson in the Soulmates and Twin Flames educational series that I'm putting on for this month of February. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you liked the last video. Today we're going to be talking about soulmates because soulmates is really where it starts. Twin Flames gets a lot of attention, but twin flames and soulmates are, in a way, sort of the same thing. We'll talk more about that as we go on. But I want to introduce to you guys this concept of having a soul family and how does it integrate with past lives and things like that. So if you are a past life reader, you probably have your own opinions and perspectives on past lives, what they are, and how they relate to your soul family. So whenever I think of a soul family, I think of that is what a soulmate is. A soulmate is part of our soul family. Now, there's a lot of different opinions about what a soul family is. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you what my opinion is and the way that I kind of see it. So we can kind of think about if in metaphors because we're psychics, right? We love metaphors and symbolism and things like that. So this came to me several years ago. Actually, where this came to me in a vision was when I was working as basically doing beauty sales. I was working in the salon world and I was working with a particular brand of skincare. The brand of skincare came from the Amazon forest. And so a lot of my education at that time had to be around the different plants it was a botanical line. So the different plants and botanicals that were utilized in the formulas of this skincare line, and which meant I had to kind of understand a little bit more about how the rainforest works and that sort of thing. But this was, no kidding, probably I would say at least 15, maybe 16, 17 years ago where I actually had this vision, and it has stuck with me ever since. So I remember I was super tired on a Sunday or Saturday morning, had to come in for product training. So I'm there and they actually flew the people out from wherever they were from, whichever country they were from in South America. And they were basically the representatives of this company, and they own the company. And they lived in wherever they got these botanicals from. And so I was listening to this speech, right, and this guy was talking about how the rainforest works. And I was sitting at the desk and just kind of playing with the products, and they had brought this new beautiful facial scrub in, and it had some seed of some botanical, and it was like some amazing product. So I'm sitting there, playing with it, trying to get an understanding and feel for how it works. And as you know, when we're psychic, when we're doing repetitive things like that, I was rubbing it into my hand. I don't know if you can see that there. But when we're doing repetitive things, psychic visions come to us. And I kind of went into a trance, and I was like, this has a lot to do with spirituality, because I've always been a very spiritual person. I always like to think about things in spiritual terms. And I was thinking, this guy was talking about how in the Amazon, it's like this enclosed system, right? So you have these rivers and lakes and ponds, and then you have the plant life and the wildlife, and you have these huge tree canopies, and it creates this sort of almost greenhouse sort of effect. And the reason why it's called the Amazon rainforest is because it rains all the time. And it has a very unique way of recycling that water that comes through the different systems within the Amazon rainforest, builds up into the clouds and comes raining down. And I was like, wow, that's a really great metaphor for soul families. So we can kind of think about Earth as this giant Amazon rainforest, right? Metaphorically speaking. And we may notice that during, when the sun comes up, the sun is touching the parts of the planet that it's, daytime, What happens in the Amazon is that the environment starts to heat up, and the water turns into vapor, and as we know, hot air rises and heat rises, and so it goes towards the top. And within the top line of these tree canopies are cloud systems that develop, right? And what happens is over time, these cloud systems become so pressurized, they have to release I think it's some type of electromagnetic pressure in order to regain that balance in the ecosystem of the rainforest. And so what happens is it rains. It rains and rains and rains a lot. So we can kind of think of Earth as being this giant Amazon rainforest, all of us little people as being little droplets of water. So I could be the droplet of water that's resting on a plant. That's my lifespan. That is my purpose. That is what I was here to do, was rest on this plant and become dewdrop for some bird or some worm or something like that. Whereas you are another person, and perhaps you're a droplet of water in one of the rivers, and one of your jobs is to deliver through fresh oxygen to the fish and everything that's living there, right? And what happens every day or every cycle as the air heats up, the water that is us, that was us, we turn into vapors, which is kind of symbolic of us passing away or going to that next stage of whatever is after this life. And it's really interesting because as the water goes towards the top of the clouds, it's no longer just me that was the dewdrop on the plant. It is no longer just you that was the droplet of water in the river, right? We kind of break through those barriers and we become part of a whole as we're going into the cloud system. We're now in the cloud system. We're intermingling. There is no Christina. There is no you. There is just us. There is just the one. And as this pressure builds, we are reborn as new rain droplets that go down back to the Amazon forest, re-enter the ecosystem there, and we have a new purpose. We become a new identity. So in a way, if you think about past lives, it's really common to view past lives as like you have been this person going on and on and on and on throughout time, or the Buddhist perspective of it, where maybe you could have been a plant and then you reincarnated as an ant, and there's like this ascension process of reincarnation. Okay. I kind of am of the thought that there is no ascension process when it comes to reincarnation. I feel like reincarnation is more like a random type of thing, and that we are not just one individual being going through many lifetimes. I feel like we are many beings going through many lifetimes together. So the entity that is me now as Christina Quick, the Tarot Biz mentor, that is a singular identity that I will only have in this life as this composite conglomeration of many beings that were before me. Now, when we think about soulmates and soul families, it doesn't seem that far of a stretch when thinking about this metaphor that you might also be a part of me that was in a past life. Perhaps an identity that we had together in a past life. Maybe perhaps in this new life we are separate entities, but also from the same entity as well. So it has this dualistic, paradoxical kind of feel to it. And it's really interesting in terms of past lives because, and how it relates to soulmates, because it could mean that we as individuals have a soul family, the soul cloud that we came up and reincarnated into and into back into the earth, that we are similar beings in terms of we have shared past lives as the same entity together. I hope that makes sense. And so when we think of soul family, we think of people that are cut from the same cloth or have a lot in common with us in terms of our values and our beliefs and our visions for the future. These are all things we're going to talk about as we move into more education about what soulmates are. And so I really hope that you enjoyed this metaphorical perspective about soul families and that the possibility that you and I could have been one and the same being in our last life, and now we are experiencing this new life as independent beings, but that's why we feel so like we're so connected. And the previous video I talked about the origin of the twin flames theory, which I talked about the Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden and Eve being made from Adam's rib. And I also talked about the Greek perspective of Plato's Symposium, where Zeus created these superhuman type creatures with two sets of arms, two sets of legs, two heads, two hearts. And then, charged Apollo with cutting them in half and being that creating two different divine counterparts. And so it's interesting. I would love to hear about your personal beliefs about soul families, about what they are. If you have any other metaphors, I would love to hear about them. And in the next video, we're going to be talking about what are soulmates, what kind of gifts do they give us, why are they so special? And hey, I just wanted to let you know real quick that I do have a couple trainings that I feel would really help you. If you are wanting to get into love and relationship readings, or if you are already doing love and relationship readings, but you want to take it to the next level, I have one training called Give the Most Epic Tarot Readings for Love and Relationship. That is specifically for tarot readers. And what I do is I give you guys my personal system of how I do love and relationship readings. I also talk about the elements in the tarot cards, like, fire, water, earth, etc. And I also talk about the numerology of the cards and how it relates to the depth of the feelings of the relationship. You will also get, which is one of the best parts in my opinion, is you will get a PDF that will walk you through creating your Valentine's Day offer, your package, whatever you want to do. Also, it has lots of over 50, I think maybe even 70 different blog posts or video ideas that relate to love and relationships, that relate to soulmates and twin flames. So if you want to get started teaching your clients about your philosophy on soulmates and twin flames, you can do that. And I have a special coupon for the month of February that will be linked down below. I also have, for my Etsy psychics, I didn't leave you guys out. I have it's SEO pack, search engine optimization pack. And what it has, excuse me, is it has lots of short tail keywords, lots of long tail keywords, and it also has question-based reading topics. So if you're like, I want to do more love and relationship readings, but I'm not sure what kind to do, it has a lot of ideas for you. So I would get on that at the very least if you're on Etsy. I have been asked if this SEO pack can work on your own website. The answer is yes, as long as your website has the capability to set up listings or it has some type of commerce capability, and it has some kind of SEO capability. Again, I will have that link down below. So let me know what you guys thought of my soul cloud theory, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think what our soul family is about. And I'd love to know any personal experiences with any ways that you like to explain it to your own clients. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.